Hi guys, Brian here, and Doctor Who just aired its new episode last night, In the Forest of the Night. And here's my quick opinions on it. In no particular order, the first thing that really jumps to my mind that kind of irks me is again we are hit with a plot that is completely dumb. Like, I can understand the concept of wanting to have, hey, suddenly there's a forest in the middle of London and everywhere on Earth, and that's actually slightly interesting if suddenly forest. But the rationale of where this forest came from, why it exists, and how it goes away, and the supposed fact that we're just going to forget about it is incredibly dumb, ludicrous, and just... The show seems to seriously think that humanity is just going to shove their head in the sand and ignore facts when we have built our entire society around finding facts and finding truth, and when there's irrefutable evidence to support it, we accept it. So if we suddenly found that, hey, a forest suddenly grew overnight, tons of documented evidence for it, we would not simply ignore it. And I don't think we would have ignored it in the previous examples that they gave that it would have happened. It's dumb. Really, really dumb. But the concept of city being overrun by trees is interesting, and actually the storyline for what they told was somewhat interesting. It was very much a story of a global event happening at a local scale. So that was actually pretty interesting to see things from this perspective, which we don't always see. But it was definitely a story where the Doctor wasn't particularly needed so much as he was just present for us. So I'm not really opposed to those types of stories because sometimes the Doctor doesn't need to be there. But from a narrative perspective, I have to ask myself the question of, okay, so why does the Doctor need to be involved in this event other than the fact that his name is in the show? So let's talk about the Doctor. The Doctor in it was his somewhat usual, harsh, uncaring self. Didn't really do anything to endear me this episode. So basically, it was just a kind of accept the Doctor episode for me. I didn't really have any strong opinions on him, really. I just, that's who he was. I just went with it. So he's definitely not my Doctor, as I probably say far too often. But he's the Doctor, so I guess I'll go with it. Clara in this episode definitely did show why she is a good companion for the Doctor. Well, maybe not good companion for the Doctor, but a companion for the Doctor. Because I like the dichotomy between her and Mr. Pink, where she was all like, oh my god, what's going on? What's going on? This is so exciting. Yay. And he was like, focus on getting the kids safe and be objective. And their dichotomy actually really worked for me in this episode. And Mr. Pink actually really kind of had a good episode today, too. Is he showed somewhat of a militaristic goal-oriented setting, or goal-oriented thought process. And he behaved rather rationally and rather intelligently. I liked Mr. Pink this episode. And of course, we had to have the answer for everything be a little child who happens to be hearing voices. And of course, she's not crazy. She's just hearing the answer to the universe. Okay, because sometimes people are just crazy. But whatever. Let's go with it. So hypocritically of me, I liked the kid, but didn't like the little girl. I don't know. Didn't as I'm digesting the episode, it's kind of leaving more of a bad taste in my mouth. During the episode, she was basically kind of cute and funny to me, but as I'm digesting it, it's kind of not really working for me as much as it was. And really, the happy ending at the end was just felt really tacked on and unnecessary, and just like an intentional, obvious draw to try and pull on the heartstrings. And that just like, really? You're going one step too far. Okay, whatever. So overall, my opinion of this episode is not all that awesome. This is definitely not an episode I would go back to watch again at the drop of a hat. Not awful, but not anything that I'm super enthused about, I guess. So tell me what you guys thought about it. How'd you feel about the Doctor? What do you think about the class having no reaction to the TARDIS interior? How was the wolf scene for you? How was the concept of the forest growing overnight to you guys? Let me know what you guys thought. See ya.